Hey guys, welcome to another Raid Shadow Legends video. And today the community has spoken and I put out a poll, and the next champion guide is going to be Ithos. And this is my Ithos here. He's a fantastic champion. One of the tougher ones to pull in the game. Obviously he's a Void Legendary. Really tough to get, but if you do pull him, congrats, he's unbelievably good. Probably like the single highest AoE in the game for like a single hit. You know, like Trunda can hit more, but that's if you build her with no accuracy and she hits the double hit. And I think it's Robar, he can do some crazy stuff, but it's all situational. And then there's Ithos, I think he's number one, but again, it's situational because he gets down to the HP to be able to use his ability. Whereas I think Ithos, just straight off the bat, just hitting for raw damage on a one shot, just straight, you know, like an ability that can be used straight away without any other conditions, is probably the strongest. And let's just go ahead and look at his skills first. So he's got his A1 here, attacks one enemy, 20% chance of granting an extra turn, decreases enemy max HP as well. This grants a turn quite a lot, I found actually. It's really good in PvE this, you know, I've seen him just wipe out waves, because as soon as he uses an extra turn, he goes on to one of his big AoEs. And talking about that, his A2 is Outburst. It attacks 3 times all enemies and places the small weaken, which to me makes it 0 sense. Because he's a Void Legendary, I think they should just buff this to the large version of weaken, 25%. Not that it really matters with a champion like this, because the way you're using him, you're going to be killing them with his AoEs anyway. So this is kind of trivial, but it definitely could have some use in PvE content, because he's very good in PvE content. He's insane for Doom Tower, this guy. I mean, all the top guys that are using speed teams to beat the crazy times on Doom Tower pretty much use this guy to farm the waves, because he can just wipe through waves like there's nothing else. 3-turn cooldown for this as well. This does hit really hard. The A1, given the extra turn, is really good for his cooldowns because he just cycles through them so quick. Then he's got a 4-turn cooldown on Extinguish Life. This attacks all enemies, and this attack is always critical. So this gives you the option to build this guy with 0 crit, and he could do a ton of damage because of it. But this thing just hits so hard. The multipliers are really good on it. Even if you're building it with crit, this thing's going to slam. I wish they kind of fixed his AI, because a lot of the time he uses his outburst first for me on AI, whereas if I build him in arena, say with 0 crit, then I would like him to use this first, but I have to manual it because he tends to favour his outburst even with low crit rate, so that's something that could be fixed. He does actually have a crit rate in arena battles by 33%, which doesn't get used, but I have used it on the odd occasion. Like there's the kind of Revive Ithos team, I ended up using this and it was actually quite good. It let me kind of pile more damage into my build. But yeah, that's him here. So I've got him in pretty crazy, I mean it's not crazy gear, but it's pretty damn crazy. It's in Savage and Cruel. So I'm just looking for maximum damage out of this build here. You can build them in so many different ways, and I'm going to explain that right now. But at the moment, I have got them in no speed at all, so I'll explain why in a minute. I've got them in 40k HP, so a wee bit more HP than I would have liked, but I got a few bad rolls. 6.8k defense, 120 speed, like I say, 50% crit rate, and 282 crit damage. Accuracy, like I say, I don't need him to land that weaken, so I'm not even looking for accuracy. This build here is purely about just slamming everyone. I have yet to find a team that if I strip them and debuff them, he just kills everything. There's no chance of them surviving. So that's the kind of reason with this build. It is very slow. Again, I was using it in the kind of Cardinal Revive team for a wee while, just practicing last night, so I've lowered his speed down to 120. He was normally running about 180 before, but I switched him to attack boots just to really beast the damage out. And I've been having fun with him, and I've got enough CC in my team to make sure he gets round. And as long as you've got like turn meter boosts and things like that, you can get your attack champions round. So I would say most of you guys, don't worry too much about getting your nuker fast. You could give him attack boots and then just boost them up there, and he's going to do so much more damage. Yeah, like attack percentage is highly underrated in this game. I used to run him at like maybe 5k attack and about the same crit damage, and it's like night and day to how much damage he actually does now. But obviously this is no use for something like campaign farming or anything really. When he's campaign farming, I've actually got Savage Boots that I just swap out, and then I swap out, there's I think it's a Cruel, I can't remember, it's another Cruel set, but basically the Savage Boots are 6 speed boots, they're 45 speed, and they've got like triple roll and crit rate on them, and it basically boosts him up to about 85% crit rate and about 200 speed altogether. So that is perfect for doing campaign farming, and he'll breeze through that stuff. So I will go through the campaign farming later. I'll show you what he's like. But he's very, very good as a campaign farmer. And also, like I say, Doom Tower, he's crazy at beasting through the waves. But yeah, so that's it. So I've got Savage. Savage set, you're looking for attack percentage and crit damage. That is all you're looking for if you're going for this crazy arena build that I've done here. If you are looking for campaign farming, you want speed and crit rate in there as well, so you have to balance it out a bit. But that's the beauty of this guy, because his A3 doesn't have the need for critical, you can really just blast on the damage. So again, attack and crit damage on here. I've got crit damage and HP roll unfortunately on there. Attack twice on there, crit damage, gloves, attack and crit damage on the chest plate. And then I've actually gone, I do have attack boots with crit damage on them, but what I did, I chose this one because they've got a triple on crit rate. And what that does is it actually gives me 50% crit rate. Now, that's not a lot. I wouldn't normally recommend that. But what that does, if there's ever any problems in my team, my CC in my team is quite good, and if I don't manage to kill them first time round for whatever reason, if one of them doesn't get stripped or something, it's when he comes back round, he's got a good chance of landing in the crit on the A1 or the A2 at least. It's like a 50-50, so it's the same as Helm Smasher. And you know, I would take those odds, but more often than not, I don't need to do it. But that is the reasoning behind doing this, because if it was down at like 20-30%, I've got a very low chance of getting it, and it could land me in trouble. Right, in terms of his masteries here, pretty easy. You want to go Helm Smasher on any of these big AoE guys, and you're looking for Shield Breaker, beasting through any shields that do get left up. Ruthless Ambush is a must, that's 8% right there, extra damage. Obviously crit rate and crit damage. Single out just to pick off people. Bring it down is good as well, because most of them will have higher HP. I wish I could get a few pieces of gear with less HP rolls in it so I could get my HP down actually for this. And then Methodical and Kill Streak can be handy, but most of the time you're blowing them out. Opportunist is quite good, because I was running with Kymar sometimes, and that extra 12% really does make a difference. It can almost kind of get around having to put decreased defense down, because you're stripping them anyway, and then you get an extra 12% from this, so that's actually pretty strong. And then simply just giving them a little bit extra resistance, improved parry. Bloodthirst is decent, at least it gets a little bit of health back if he does get hit. And Retribution as well, which is another useful one. So like I say, this is a pretty high-end arena build. There's definitely a lot better out there, don't get me wrong, but I don't have crazy gear yet, but I've got good gear. Incidentally, this isn't my best gear. My best gear is a Macandrophon right now, but I don't want to change him because he's pretty solid, so I could boost this guy up a bit more, but he's working fine as it is. So this is a really good arena build. If you were doing campaign farming, like I say, try and get him to about 210, 220 I think it is, to go twice, and then you'll just breeze through the campaign farming. And to be honest, as long as you've got Savage on, you could even use Flawless Execution if you want a bit more reliability to get some more crit damage, but like I say, 210, 220 speed, decent amount of attack, 100% crit rate, and you'll just breeze through the campaign farming. He can actually do Nightmare campaign farming as well. He's really good for that. One of the best ones in the game, if you get him to that right speed. Incidentally, on the jewellery, obviously I've just tried to get attack, crit damage, and I do actually have a defense ring here, but it's because I've been given horrible rolls on every single ring that Playroom has given me so far. So this has got a double attack percentage roll on it, and I figured a little bit of flat defense wouldn't be a bad thing, just in case someone retaliates and hits him back. Again, with any nukers, I would always avoid getting any defense percentage rolls, because you're only getting a percentage of 716 defense, which is really low. So a flat one there, 265 straight on top, makes quite a difference. I completely forgot to say, look at his attack, it's 1.608. I think Trunda's a wee bit higher, but yeah, he hits so hard, this guy, honestly. Right, here we are at the end of Gold 4. I'm just going to work my way up into Platinum and try and show you him against some pretty solid teams, but I've got a bunch of CC here I'm just going to use. This is how you get around having such a slow speed champion. And then I can turn meter boost back into him here. Now, most of these guys, except for 2 of them, have decreased defense down, but as you can see, he slams like 100k on the Duchess, which is pretty nuts. Let's find some tougher teams and see what we can do. Right, so that last team I was using Gurp Tux, he actually gave a bit of a damage increase from his poisons, which is pretty good. But this team has a Torment, so I've switched it for Sky Touch. So we're going to boost round, end up getting frozen, put some block debuffs on, and this will be interesting because they've got shields up, so it'll show you how much damage you can actually do with the shields on. Right, let's cycle around. He is slow, so it does take a wee while to get round. Goddamn counter attack. Right, let's boost it around and see how much damage this does. Boom, slam straight through all the shields. Obviously Tormund doesn't die because he's annoying, but you get the idea, so I'll just quickly auto this to get rid of him. Right, let's see if we can find some real beastly teams. Like I say, if you get a really, really high-end solid team with shields on, there's not much you can do to get through it. But this guy's pretty strong at doing it, but if you strip them, I don't think there's any team we can't kill. Right, I've gotten around to this point. This is a super tough team. We've got Duchess doing the AoE damage mitigation. We've got shields up from Valkyrie, counterattacks on Tormund, and this is like, we're top 30 in Platinum right now, so this is hard teams. So let's see how much damage this can do through a shield slamming. Slammed everyone. As you can see, this is nuts. How much damage he can actually do. So let's try him out in Doom Tower now. He's an absolute monster for Doom Tower. If you look at, I mean, this is on hard mode Doom Tower. Let's just look at some of the best teams. I can guarantee you Ethos, 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 all in the top 10 in the world for this one. Let's climb up. I mean, pretty much. Maybe not in Scarab. Oh no, Ethos, yep, Ethos, Ethos. Here we are, even up at like floor 1110. You got the Magma Dragon, you're probably going to find Ethos, 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 Ethos. Yeah, he's super, super good and he clears waves really fast. So what we are going to do, rather than actually stick him in teams and try and wipe out the waves quickly, I'm going to show you how quick he can wipe out the waves on his own. That is how good he is. So he doesn't need any auras. He's got a crit rate aura in Arena. I mean, I could potentially stick in Krutrax, who is much slower than him. Incidentally, I've geared him differently for this team here. So you saw my Arena build there. This guy is now, I've chucked some speed boots on him. That's it. So he's up at 176. Still only 50% crit rate here, so just keep that in mind. And 5.8k attack. Savage and Cruel still. I have got another piece of kit, but it's on my Candraphon now that would boost them up to the 85, or no, I think it's 75 crit rate, and a bit more speed. I'll take out Krutraxa, and we'll just leave him on his own. This is floor 10 Magma Dragon on hard, and let's see what he does. Boom, dead, and extinguished life. That is how easy he gets through. Now obviously he ain't going to kill the boss, but that was just to show you that all you need is Ethos to get through those waves. Takes a couple of seconds and that is it. That's floor 10, let's jump up to like, I mean with this build I think I could probably get away with doing floor 60 on his own. Let's try this. And he goes in and boom, blows them up. Oh, we get the revive there and then smashes them out and he's there. It's crazy, man, it's crazy. Anyway, he's going to die from the poisons, but you get the idea. So he can easily, one man without any auras, any increase, one man wipe out the waves before the bosses, and this is on hard mode, level 60 on Doom Tower. I mean, that's crazy. You can imagine what you could do with a little bit of increased attack, increased crit damage buffs, decreased defense and weaken suddenly becomes insane, you know? If you get Lydia, Draco, anyone to go before him and then he comes, I mean, it's good night for the waves. It's easy. So that is how strong he is in PvE content. So anyway guys, that is Ethos. Ethos is a beast. If you pull him, congratulations. So many ways to build him. I'm not going to re-gear him and go through campaign farming. Literally all you need to do is about 210, 220 speed, plenty crit rate, crit damage, attack, and you'll just breeze through it all, Nightmare included. He's nuts. But you do need high-end gear for Nightmare, I will say that. He'll do brutal campaign farming like easy, absolutely easy. You could have him set as your arena character, even with like 50% crit rate, and he'll probably still easily be your campaign farmer for brutal. So really strong champion. And yeah, hope you enjoyed it, guys. As usual, please like and subscribe to the channel. Getting a lot of love recently, so it's been good. We're on the up. Hopefully we can hit 2,000 subscribers soon. That would be really, really cool. And yeah, check me out on Twitch as well, Iamsteamin. And that's it, guys. Have a great day. Peace.